First and foremost, we want to say, Call Halayim, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, meaning all praise goes to the Father Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Who are we? We are the Hebrew Israelites, coming out here to prophesy the downfall of America, which is known as Babylon in the Bible, and we also coming out here to wake up our people, who are the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
That's
so the
right.
so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And the reason why you don't know this, because we had our heritage, our nation, we had all our customs beat out of us in slavery. So the Lord is putting the spirit back on the earth, putting the men back out here to come out here and raise up the 12 tribes of Israel again. Read what you got.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 15. See then that ye walk circumspectly.
Ephesians 5, verse 14.
Oh, like Ephesians 5, verse 14. Therefore he said, awake, thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead.
And that's what we out here telling our people, man. We telling our people to awake. Why? Because our people are asleep, man, and our people are dead. We spiritually dead, man. Why? Because we don't know who we are. We don't know who our God is. We don't know who the Messiah we supposed to be serving. We going to church every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? These pastors, they ain't teaching us a damn thing, man. Only thing they teaching us to do is teaching us to, you know what I'm saying, commit our spiritual adultery against the Most High.
That's
teaching
right.
us to worship the same man who put us in this condition that we in. The same man that raped our foremothers. The same man that was lynching us. The same man that was putting crosses in our yard and burning them, man, and was dragging our people out of the house, killing them. We in church and worshiping this same Messiah. Messiah is a so-called black man.
That's right.
In the scriptures, but they not teaching us this in this Christian church. So that's why we out here to tell our people to awake and come out from the dead. And let's see when we awake, what we supposed to awake to. Read what you got.
1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 34. Awake to righteousness.
So that's what we supposed to awake to, man. We supposed to awake to righteousness. And what is the righteousness? Hold that. Give me Psalm 119, verse 172. So the Lord said, when we awake, when we come out of that deep sleep, when we come out of this coma that the so-called white man and the Arabs and these other nations put us in, man, because all nations had a part in putting us to sleep, man. You know what I'm saying? All nations on the face of the earth that don't come out of the 12 tribes of Israel is against us. So when we awake, we supposed to awake to righteousness. Now we finna see what that righteousness is. Read that, huh? 119, 172.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 172. My tongue shall speak thy word, for all thy commandments are righteous.
That's right, man. So that's what the righteousness is, man. The righteousness is the commandments of the Most High.
That's
one
right.
of the commandments that we supposed to be keeping is what we in today, man. What is the Shabbat, the Sabbath day? The Sabbath day comes in from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. These are one of the things that we discontinue from, that we got to wake back to, man. You know what I'm saying? Our men got to get in order. You know what I'm saying? We got to start keeping the dietary laws. We got to start keeping the other high holy feast days. Like we just got through celebrating the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread. But our people don't know these things. Why? Because we discontinue from our heritage. Now we celebrate things like Easter, you know what I'm saying, Christmas, Thanksgiving. All these days are pagan, man. All these days we learn from our own people. Go back to Ephesians.
Ephesians. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 14. Wherefore saith, awake, thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee light.
That's right, man. Christ shall give you light. That light is the truth, man. In order to get that light, you got to be keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. In Proverbs 6, verse 22. Read that again out from the top.
Ephesians 5, verse 14. Therefore he saith, wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee light.
That's right, man. So we gotta awake, and we gotta be, we out here to awake our people and to raise them from the dead, man. Because what? Mashiach Yahweh Shah, who the world calls Christ, that's what he was on the scene doing, man. He was on the scene waking his people back up to their nationality, and he was raising the people from the dead. You know what I'm saying? He was doing that physically and spiritually. Now we doing that spiritually now, because we don't have the physical powers, the spiritual powers to raise somebody from the dead now. But what? We raising you from that dead estate that you in, man.
That's right.
Thinking you African American. If you thinking you an African American, you in a dead estate. If you thinking you a so-called Mexican or Native American, you dead, man. You dead to the knowledge of your true biblical nationality.
Proverbs chapter 6, verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light.
That's right, man. So the commandment is the lamp, and the law is light, man. So it says Christ should give you that light, man. And what the light do? If you living in a place full of darkness, man, that light is gonna what? It's gonna help you see. It's gonna help you see through the dark, man. Yes, sir.
I appreciate it. The book of Psalms chapter 119 verse 105. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path.
That's right, man. So we walking this path, man, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have the word, man, because the word is what's gonna, you know what I'm saying, lead you in the right direction, man. If everything dark, what you need to see your way. Say for instance, if you got, you know what I'm saying, if you got pits over here, you know what I'm saying, full of snakes, you got pits over there full of spikes, you know what I'm saying, you gonna need, and you walking in a dark place, you gonna need a light to help you see through it, so you won't fall and be destroyed, man. So the light is gonna help us see through, you know what I'm saying, us not being destroyed, man, is what? The word of the Lord, man.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may.
Hey, brother, you got a second, man. Come hear the word of the Lord. You believe in God? Hey, come hear the word of the Lord, young brother. You ain't got time right now, all right?
Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. So, just like the law is the light, you should be full of the light. And just like the brothers out here, we trying to keep the commandments. We keep the commandments to the best of our ability.
That's right.
And we let our works shine to our brothers and sisters so they can see that we are keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High.
That's right.
So if you're not in the proper knowledge, you're not in the proper mindset, you won't know that you got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of God. These churches don't teach you to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of God. They teach you to be saved by grace alone, by faith alone, which is a lie. Because what is faith without works is dead. So if you let your light shine before men, that they see your good works, that'll inspire other men to follow your light and your example.
That's right,
man. Agree with you.
The book of Matthew chapter 10 verse 8. Heal the sick, cleanse the leper.
That's what we out here to do, man. We out here to heal the sick, man. Why? Because our people are sick. We sick because we under the curses that the Most High put on us, man. And He put us under these curses. Why? Because we didn't want to keep His law, statutes, and commandments.
That's right.
We wanted to follow behind what the other nations were doing, as we still doing today. That's why we sick, man. That's why we still in the ghetto. That's why we still, you know what I'm saying, in the slum. That's why we still getting shot down. Hey, Shalom, sir, how you doing? You got it, you know your nationality?
Black and white.
Huh?
Black and white.
Black and white. You mix. So what's your father do?
Black.
Okay, so you would be a so-called African American. You're a so-called African American. So you would be from the tribe of Judah, because you are who your father is. Your nationality or your race is determined by your father. Give me that in Numbers 1 verse 18 to show you that you believe in the Bible.
I don't have any religion.
No, this ain't no religion. See, that's why our people get confused. We don't believe in religion either. We're against religion. We was taught in religion by our oppressors. This is a nationality. This is who we are as a people. You know what I'm saying? This is our customs and our heritage that was given to us by God. But the Bible is not no religious book, despite what they told us. This is a book, a history of our forefathers and our ancestors, and it's a book of prophecy, not no religious book.
The book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees.
So what's a pedigree? Like if a dog has a pedigree, what that is? It's like his lineage or his bloodline, right? So it said we declared our pedigree, our lineage, our bloodline, right?
After their family, by the house of their father.
So your father, that's who he carries, because the man carries the seed. So when the man plants the seed, you know what I'm saying, whatever that seed is that the man planted, you know what I'm saying, that's what's going to come out. So you will be from the tribe of Judah. That's your biblical, right. You know what I'm saying, true nationality. But we wasn't taught these things in church, and we wasn't taught these things in the land we were scattered throughout captivity. But the Lord is raising up His people now, during our time. Like right now, you see these men out here, there's men all over every state of America that's preaching His word. And our people are raising back up and be coming back into our nationality, into our heritage, because the Lord is finna get ready to destroy America. America is known as Babylon in the Bible. It's code name for America. Of course, the Bible ain't gonna clearly say America, because it said that they would have changed. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord, you know what I'm saying, put code names in the Bible to let us know He was referring to America. And you say your mother's so-called wife, she would be from the nation of Egypt. Esau. You know what I'm saying? Them, the Lord is only coming back for these 12 tribes right here. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But you have a right to be a part of that, but you have to keep it and keep the commandments. How you feel about this?
I think it's something to take into perspective.
Yeah, so you understand that our heritage was taken away from us during slavery. So whatever we were before we got on them boats, they beat that out of our forefathers. You understand that, right? You understand that the slave trade itself was such a monumental event that it's recorded in history, right? They're trying to take it out to school now. Do you know it's also recorded in the Bible? It's prophesied that that would happen in the Bible. See, this is how we know this is true book. The prophecies that's spoken of in this Bible are verified by history. You come up, brother.
You come up.
That's how we know we the children of the book, because the prophecies in this book that have happened are recorded history, and that recorded history fits us. And the Lord said He was going to take our heritage from us and scatter us to the four corners. And our people were scattered during slavery. Some of us went to South America, some of us came to North America, some of us went to Spain, some of us went to other parts of the earth, and that was just the transatlantic slave trade. You familiar with the trans-Saharan slave trade, where the Arabs came over to West Africa, and I think they say 100 million slaves were taken east, and they were scattered to the east. So, like, this ain't no hate campaign, right? We ain't just saying white man is this, because all nations hate the same. They want to do everything we do, but they don't want to suffer the same thing we suffer. Like you know, we the salt of the earth. Our people are the salt of the earth. Everything we do, they copy. And we the best at everything we do, and they copy. Right?
You got any questions? Don't be scared now. That's what we out here.
We out here for you.
We out here to answer questions. You know what I'm saying? To raise our people up like we were going into. Hey, Shalom, bro. How you doing? All right, man. You got any questions, man? What we out here doing, man, we out here teaching our people, you know what I'm saying, the so-called black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, that they are the true biblical Israelites that the Bible speaks to. Because there are 18 different nations in the Bible. And it's important to know what nation you come from, because despite what they teach us in these Christian churches, the Lord only came for one nation of people. He only came for the nation of Israel. But his Hebrew name is Yasha'Allah. Yasha'Allah means he is Prince of Power. You know what I'm saying? That's a strong name that our people hold, but our people, we don't know that. So we discontinue from our heritage. Now we run around here thinking we African American. Run around here thinking we Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? But we got to wake up. We got to repent. We got to come out of these Christian churches, man. These Christian churches are of the devil.
That's right.
That's why they go to church on Sunday. So that's all goes back to worshiping the sun God. You know what I'm saying? They teach us what? That Christ is a so-called white man. Well, Christ is a so-called black man when you read the Bible. Let me ask you, how did we get over here to this land? What transportation? Hey, Shalom. Hey, get that brother.
Pull up and hear the word, man. Pull up and hear the word.
Get
Look more back.
Yeah, you got your back. I think it's something about that.
Thank you guys for talking.
Alright, hey, take one of my
You got.
My bad right there. In the bottom of.
Check us out on YouTube. You got any questions? You know, so our numbers on there. You call us.
You got any questions, man? Anything that you asked the preacher that he couldn't answer? Anything you got questions about that your preacher couldn't clear up? You got a question?
Bring out that Deuteronomy 28:6. Back how we got over here? Like what transportation we got over here?
Car.
No, like how do we get from, you know what I'm saying, the eastern
from West Africa to the
hemisphere to the western hemisphere? What transportation?
How was our forefathers brought to America?
No. You know what I'm saying? What they we got over here by what? Like, you know what they taught us in school, how they brought us over here. But bring that up. I want you to see it there right here resonate with
Book
your
of
spirit.
Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt
Now, the word
again.
Egypt, you know what I'm saying? It's just synonymous for abundance. Because what was happening with the children of Israel in the land of Egypt? What were they going through when they was up under the Egyptians? When Moses came and delivered them out of Egypt, they was being oppressed and going through what? Slavery, right? So that's what the word Egypt means. He's finna bring it out.
Book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Right, so land Egypt is synonymous for abundance. What's another word for abundance? Slavery or captivity. So you go back to Deuteronomy 28:68, he said he should bring thee into Egypt again. Meaning what? The same way we was in bondage, the same way we was in slavery in ancient Egypt, is the same way we're gonna serve slavery again. But this we finna tell us how we got over here into this new Egypt. Read that.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So with ships. So how do they teach us in school how we got over here? Ships, right? Ships, you know what I'm saying? That's Bible prophecy. So who did this happen to? Did this happen to the so-called white man? No. You know what I'm saying? Did this happen to the so-called Chinese? No. This only happened to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Even when they came over here, they was goddamn rounding the Taino Indians up. They was sending them on ships over there to Spain and stuff. So you know what I'm saying? This is a Bible prophecy speaking about our people. And these curses identify who the Lord's true chosen people are.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
That's right. So it said when we got off them slave ships, we were going to be sold for bondmen and bondwomen. Mean what? Slave men and slave women. So now we slaves over here in the land of America. When we got all them slave ships, you know what I'm saying? They put us on auction block. Nigga sold to Mr. Robinson. Nigga sold to Mr. Johnson. And that's how we got these last names that we carrying out from our oppressors. So it said once we got brought over here, and once we got off them ships, we was going to go into slavery. Read.
And no man shall buy you.
That word buy just means redeem, meaning no man is going to redeem us for the conditions that we in. So we still suffering today, man. We had Marcus Garvey. He tried to wake us up and redeem us. We had people like Malcolm X, people like Martin Luther King. We had people like Bobby Seale and Huey Newton, who started the Black Panther movement. You know what I'm saying? Harriet Tubman. We had all those so-called black leaders try to raise us up, right? But what? We still in the condition. We still suffering the curses, man. We still in the ghetto. We still getting shot down. We still getting killed by our enemies, which is the so-called white man. They still shooting us down, man. You know what I'm saying? For nothing.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage.
So it said thou, even thyself, you know what I'm saying? Meaning Jeremiah, he was going to even discontinue from his heritage. But as a whole, it's talking about the whole nation of the children of Israel. You know, we discontinue from our heritage. That's why we was bringing out earlier. That's why we in churches, man. That's why we celebrating all these false days. Because the heritage we keeping now is what the so-called white man told us. You know what I'm saying? We ain't keeping the heritage of the Lord. Read.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies.
Now, who we in this land serve? Who ruling over us in the land of America? White folk, right? So the Lord said they are our enemy. No, we ain't say this. You know what I'm saying? We just reading thus said the Lord. So the Lord said, well, look, we're going to discontinue from our heritage, and we're going to be in the land serving our enemies, man. The so-called white man. Because look, you know he's not our friend. Would your friend rape you? Would your friend put you in chains? Would your friend lynch you from trees? Beat you with whips? You know what I'm saying? Would they do all that? No, those are our enemy. That's something we got to wake up to. You know what I'm saying? These other nations, they hate us, man. These are not our friends. So we got to come back and we got to, you know what I'm saying, start loving each other, man. We got to come back as a nation.
For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. Yeah, so I got this book called The Black Image.
Hold on, he got a question. Yeah, I see.
Hey, man, hey, come on up here.
Man, there's cameras everywhere.
Come on
We
up
recording
here.
it too. You got a question, you can feel free.
Exactly.
So this book right
You're
here is
homosexual.
That's homosexual.
Yeah.
This book right here is called The Black Image in the White Mind. It took them like 97 years to put this together. It's go from like 1819 to 1917 or 1918. So it cover a lot of territory. But this really gives you a good idea of what the white mind, how they think about black people in general. They tell you stuff like Abraham Lincoln. Okay, here go Henry Clay. He said it was probable, he argued, that slave insurrections would increase in the future. For Negroes are rational beings like ourselves, capable of feeling and reflection and of judging what belongs to them as a portion of the human race. By the very condition of the relation which exists between us, we are enemies of each other. So that just go right back to what we just read, man. The Most High sent us to serve our enemies. And this confirmed by Henry Clay in this book right here, The Black Image in the White Mind. So that's, you know, so not only does the Bible say it, they say it, they know. And we the only people that don't know. But they know, right? And they, like I said, they've known this for a long time. Right?
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 17. And I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you, and ye shall flee when none pursueth you.
So again, man, and that's their whole concept, man. That's why they don't have the capacity to empathize with our people, man, as a whole. If you bring up something they did, they deflect. They say, well, what about this or what about that? But they never really address the issue. Just like Kaepernick, when somebody do that to me, I say, y'all trying to Kaepernick me, right? So they do. Kaepernick was protesting police brutality against our people. What did they do? They turned it and made it about him disrespecting the flag, man, and never addressed the issue to begin with. And that's what they do. It's devil nation. They deceitful, and devil just means deceiver, man. Right. So that's the kind of stuff they do, man.
Right, because what they taught us the devil, they taught us the devil is this red man with horns up on the head, right, up on the earth with a pitchfork. That's a damn lie, man. All that is Greek mythology, man. The red man is on earth right now. But the so-called white man, he ain't white. You know what I'm saying? He red, because what we call him down here in Alabama, what we call white people. Right. Red nigga, right? You know what I'm saying? Why? Because, you know what I'm saying, they blood show forth through their skin. So they the devil, they know they the devil, man. So they deceive all of us. You know, they even deceive their own people.
This go another little passage, man, from the chapter of romantic racialism in the North. See, in the North, let me explain, the North had a different kind of racism than the South. The South was overtly racist. They just came out and called you a nigga. In the North, it was a little different. And that's why, it's one reason why Northern whites don't really care for Southern whites. Northern whites are covertly racist, right? They ain't gonna just come out and call you a nigga, but then you go apply for the job, you ain't gonna get it.
Yeah, they systematic.
You know, they more systematic than overt, you know what I'm saying? And they don't like the Southerners because they was like, y'all stupid for being so openly racist, man. We could take over if we just follow this system, right?
That's right.
So if they, and the lower class white people bucking the system that the high class white people got in place, so that's why they got a little disconnect with them, man. But they all devil, man.
Right.
Right. Even it say like in fact, it was legitimate source of white contempt. If the truth were told, Higginson wrote in 1861, it would be that the Anglo-Saxon despises the Negro because he is not an insurgent. For the Anglo-Saxon would certainly be one in his place, right? They don't have no respect for us because we ain't revolt. They like, we don't even respect, and they still don't respect us to this day because we don't revolt. We march and pray. We get killed, pray, march, and then we repeat the cycle, man. Them white folks don't have no respect for us as a people because we don't revolt, right? And that's what this is saying right here, man. And then he went on to say, if the white people were subject like black people are, we would have been revolted, right? But see, that's how the Most High put it in our mind, man, to make us docile, right? Because even in the scriptures, man, he told them, don't rebel against Babylon, serve your time, and I'll pull you up out of here, right? But as a people, man, they look at us as docile, like in general. That's how they look at us. But when they put it on the media, they put that brute beast image of the black man out there to scare the other white folks that, you know. But you know this town, man, all these people get along as long as you know your place.
Right.
You know? There was, he contended, more spontaneous sympathy with Nat Turner than with Uncle Tom. That, right? They respected Nat Turner more than they did Uncle Tom. That's the bottom line.
You know who Nat Turner was, huh? You don't know who Nat Turner was? He was a man, you know what I'm saying, that rose up and started putting white people to death. You know what I'm saying? That's what Nat Turner was. They got a movie called what, Birth of a Nation.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? You ever get a chance, check out that movie, Birth of a Nation. It goes into the history of Nat Turner.
Here go another point. He went on to point out that there was a tendency to ask Negroes to live up to Christian commandments that the white man, and he might have added the near white man as well, was not required to obey. So that's the hypocrisy of Christianity, man, and that's what I was just telling this brother, man, earlier. This other book, man, the Satanic Bible, the preface up in here, man, this the first thing that they say in the book, right? He said, on Saturday night, I would see men lusting after half-naked girls dancing at the carnival, and on Sunday morning, when I was playing the organ for tent show evangelists at the other end of the carnival lot, I would see these same men sitting in the pews with their wives and children, asking God to forgive them and purge them of carnal desires. And next Saturday, they'd be right back at the carnival or some place of indulgence. I knew then that the Christian church thrives on hypocrisy and that man's carnal nature will out. So even they the devil, this is Satanic Bible, they the devil, and they just fool.
You know what? Hey, hold on. Before you go, let me give you this script. Bring out 8, verse 8, verse 46. Before you go, let's show you what we're supposed to do. You got a card. You got one out.
First Kings, chapter 8, verse 46. If they sin against thee, for there is no man that sinneth not,
So we all was one sinner, right?
and thou be angry with them,
So the Lord got angry with us for sinning, for worshiping the gods of the other nations.
and deliver them to the enemy,
And he delivered us to the hand of our enemies. You know what I'm saying?
so that they carry them away captives unto the land of the enemy, far or near. Yet, if they shall bethink
They say,
themselves,
yet, if we should bethink ourselves. What the word bethink means? It means to remember. We had to remember who we once were. We once was king. Our women once was princess. So we had to bethink ourselves and get out of the ideologies and the philosophy of what the so-called white man told us here in America.
in the land whither they were carried captives, and repent.
And repent. That means what? Repent means what? So you know, a lot of our people go to these Christian churches every Sunday and get up and say they repent, but then they go right back into the same wickedness that they once did. So they truly ain't repent. To repent means to turn back and be sorrowful for what we did against the Most High.
And make supplication unto thee in the land of them that carried them captives, saying, we have sinned, and have done perversely, we have committed wickedness, and so return unto thee with all their heart, and with all their soul, in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive, and pray unto thee toward their land, which thou gavest unto their fathers, the city which thou hast chosen, and the house which I have built for thy name.
So that's what you must do, bro. You must repent. You must pray to the Lord. You must pray towards the east. We got to pray towards our land. You got to repent. You got to come out of your sinful ways and turn back to the Lord, man, and humble yourself. You got to grow a beard. You know what I'm saying? Because it requires a man to have beards on it. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep the Sabbath day. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep the dietary laws. You got to stop eating pork, start eating crab, shrimp, and lobster. So those are the things that we want to do, brother. Repent. Because you know what I'm saying? America's about to be destroyed, man. That's our main message, what we out here to do. Tell the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans to repent and turn back to the Most High.
That's right.
Shalom, brother. Stay here, man. I got any bring out Isaiah 52. You got any? You ain't got no precept?
Yeah.
Hey man, come on up here, man. Man, they're secretly filming us and stuff.
Yeah. That's why I was telling you, goddamn, come on up here, man. You
Hey.
want to pull out your phone and...
You ain't got to secretly film us. Come on up here, huh?
That's a damn...
Oh, that's you, man. You believe in the Lord, man. Come up here and hear the word, man. We out here to teach the word of the Lord. Huh?
Isaiah 52:1. For Zion's sake will I not hold my peace, and for Jerusalem's sake I will not rest, until the righteousness thereof go forth as brightness, and the salvation thereof.
Isaiah 52.
That Edomite was the latest hit.
What one?
That one that was in that truck.
Oh, you know, she said something.
She was yelling out something.
I see the other sister that was up here though. We saw her talking about white people. I can see the look on her face. But hopefully that sister, you know what I'm saying, say he. Yeah, Isaiah 56.
But you know, her mama white.
Yeah.
So she probably feels some type of way.
But I knew, cause it's like when they have a black father, like you really can see it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even though they have a white mother, when they have a white father and a black mother, it's like a different shade to them, you know?
Yeah.
Slacky. Isaiah chapter 52 verse 1. Awake, awake, put on thy strength,
And
O
what is
Zion.
our strength, man? Our strength is Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah.
That's
All
right.
Hold that. Give me Isaiah, Exodus 15 and 2 to show what our strength is, man. Because a lot of the Lord said, awake, awake. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Zion. Who is Zion? Zion is another name for Israel. Who are who? The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So the Lord told us to wait and put on our strength. So we got to get the precept to see what our strength is. That's why the Bible says, you know what I'm saying, precept upon precept. That's how you get the understanding of the scripture.
That's right. The book of Exodus, chapter 15, verse 2. The Lord is my strength and song. The Lord is my strength.
The Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah, that's our strength, man.
That's right. The Lord is my strength and song, and it's become my salvation. He is my God, and I will prepare him in habitation.
That's right,
My
man.
father's God, and I will exalt him.
That's who our God is, man. Our God is the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. Whose name in the Hebrew is Yahweh. And his son's name is Yahweh Shah.
That's
That's
right.
our strength, man. That's our salvation. Because salvation is only coming to the nation of Israel,
That's
man.
right.
1/3 of our people who repent and come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. We're going to be saved. We ain't going to always be oppressed in these different, you know what I'm saying, lands of captivity that we'll scatter throughout, man. The
That's
Lord is
right.
getting ready to make his second turn. That's why he's raising up the spirit of men to come out here and to get our people to repent, man. Come out here and speak these words unto our people.
That's right. Isaiah chapter 52, verse 1. Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O
So
Zion.
we just find out what our strength is. Our strength is what? Yahweh, man. Read.
Thy beautiful garment.
That beautiful garment. What is our beautiful garment, man? Our beautiful garment is this knowledge, man. This knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
That's
knowing
right.
that you are a Hebrew Israelite. Know what I'm saying? Knowing how to keep the Sabbath day. Know what I'm saying? Knowing how to keep the other high holy feast days, man. Know what I'm saying? Knowing how to deal with your own people accordingly, man. We ain't supposed to be killing each other. You know what I'm saying? You don't have them, if you out there claiming gangs and beefing with another man that looks just like you don't have on your beautiful garments, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? If you out there making whoremongers out of our sisters, and we supposed to be making wives out of them, you don't have on no beautiful garments, man.
That's right.
If you still running around here thinking you a so-called African American, a so-called Hispanic, you know what I'm saying, a Native American, you don't have on your beautiful garments, man.
That's
you have
right.
on the garments that a so-called white man put on you.
50 rags.
50 rags, huh?
O Jerusalem, the holy city, for henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean.
Give me 7, 9, 1 verse 8.
The book of Zephaniah.
I think I appreciate that going up into what you were just saying is book of Baruch chapter 3 started verse 9. Hear, O Israel, the commandments of life. Give ear to understand wisdom. How happeneth, Israel, that thou art in thy enemy's land, that thou art waxing old in a strange country, that thou art defiled with the dead, that thou art counted with them that go down in the grave. And then like what the brother was saying earlier, man, you know what I'm saying? Our people, man, we just dead out here, man. We're in a strange land. We're in our enemy's land. You know what I'm saying? Our enemies just have tore us down, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? We in a dead state. You know what I'm saying? Like the brother said, this word is for the 1/3 that's willing to hear. You know what I'm saying? Give that ear. You know what I'm saying? And come back to the law, statutes, and commandments,
That's
man, so
right.
you can be saved up out of this captivity, man. Because our people is just gone out here, man. We see it on a day-to-day basis, you know. But verse 12, thou hast forsaken the fountains of wisdom, for if thou hast walked in the way of God, thou should have dwelled in peace forever. Like the brother said earlier, man. If we would have did what we supposed to did, you know what I'm saying, the way that the Most High commanded us to do, we wouldn't have been in this situation, man. We would have been in peace. We would have been in Israel, man. We would have been our own land, right? And we would have been dwelling in peace, man. But what now, man? We got
Hebrew Israelites?
Yeah. So you already know about who we are.
Yeah, I know about
So you know you from the nation of Edom, then.
I do read the Bible.
Yeah.
I didn't know Edom is.
Yeah, Edom is the basically what? Because the word Edom means great. You know what I'm saying? So Edom today would be referring to the so-called white man, because y'all are not white. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are red, because what? Your blood shows forth through your skin. So that's the nation that you come from. You know what I'm saying? I can tell by the spirit, but you know what I'm saying? You got a judgment that's coming on you. Y'all nation is gonna have to pay for what y'all did to the Lord's chosen people. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You know that. So what? Yeah.
The nation got to pay.
Yeah, all the nations got to pay, not
All
just
the
y'all.
nations,
The
Don't take it
so-called
personal.
African man. You know what I'm saying?
The
Arab. All nations got to pay.
The chosen people
Yeah.
so I'm a
I can't say what now.
chosen people anymore. I believe there's a covenant.
So you believe God cast away His people?
Well, I believe there's a covenant people now.
But who is? Give me Hebrews 8 verse 8. So you believe the new covenant, right? So you believe the new covenant was made for everybody.
Yeah.
So is that what the scriptures say, or that's just what you believe? Give me Proverbs 3 verse 5. Well, you're gonna see who the new covenant
The
was.
book
made.
of
You say you
Hebrews.
read the Bible, right?
Yeah.
So you should have
The
read
book of
this right here.
Hebrews out of the New Testament, just FYI. The book of Hebrews, chapter 8, verse 8. For finding fault with them.
So who did he find fault with? Got his chosen people, right? Was
Right.
who? The nation of Israel. So he found fault with them. Why? Because we kept breaking the commandments of the Most High, right?
He says, behold, the days come when I will make a new
Oh,
covenant.
he said the days come now that he will make a new covenant. So you said a new covenant is for everybody, right?
Right.
For all
Those
nations,
who
as long as you
accept
believe,
Christ.
All who accept Christ, right?
Right.
Let's see if that was the scripture.
For the days come when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel.
Who?
The house of
So he
Israel.
said the days come that he's going to make a new covenant with the house of Israel.
And
So
the
what-
house of
And
Judah.
the house of Judah, because you know the history, you know what I'm saying, the Israelites were split into two kingdoms. The southern, after King Solomon died, went to the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom. So he said the days come that he's going to make that new covenant back with the same people he made the first covenant with, which is the nation of Israel. Not all nations.
Okay, I got a question for you. I got a question for you. Do you believe the prophecies in the Bible have to come to pass? Okay. Do you know the prophecy in Ezekiel that says that the house, the stick of the house of Israel and the stick of the house of Judah are supposed to be joined back together and become one stick, and they should have one king over them? You know that prophecy? Do you think that's come true?
I haven't gotten to the book of Ezekiel.
Okay.
I haven't heard that one.
So the problem with mainstream Christianity, they don't know the prophecy. So when they read the New Testament, they don't understand what's going on in the so-called Old Testament, which we don't really like them terms because it's one,
Yeah.
it's one running narrative.
Scriptures is probably
It's one running narrative. The whole, the old, the new, the part is all one running narrative, right? So we don't like Old and New Testament, right? That's just something that part of Christianity uses. They don't have to read the Old Covenant, and then they can see it's called replacement theology. That's what Christianity is. They try to take Israel out and replace it with quote-unquote Christians. But do you know the first Christians were Israelites?
Oh yeah, the first Christians were Jewish.
No, they was Israelites.
Yeah.
Do you know the difference between an Israelite and a Jewish person?
Not really.
Okay, do you know during Christ's time there was the Edomites had to follow, they was following the religion and the faith of the Israelites, right? Why? You know, John Hyrcanus conquered them during the Greek period and forced the Edomites to follow the customs of the Israelites, right? That's how Herod,
They became Hellenized Jews.
right? Well, no, Herod, they were Hellenized during that period, but Herod was an Edomite, right? But he was called King of the Jews because Rome gave him that title, right? Our King of the Jews is Yahweh Shai,
That's right.
right? Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, because Christ answers to the Most High, right? And that's the end all be all, the Most High. So the Edomites during 70 AD, they betrayed the Israelites when Rome sacked Jerusalem. So the Israelites was destroyed with great slaughter. You can get that Babylon the 10th book too right there. It's up under that Quran. I think that's it. Yeah. Get page 84. So this book, so Rome destroyed Jerusalem, but the Edomites, they was calling themselves Jews too. So everybody that was following them customs was classified as Jewish, even though they might have been from different nations, right? So when Rome sacked Jerusalem, the Edomites turned on the Israelites, right? And so after the destruction, the Edomites took on the name Jew. The Israelites were scattered and put in slavery. Right? Some of us were scattered back to Africa, and some of us went into slavery during the Roman period. But the Edomites disappeared from history at that point because they took on the name of the Jews and it started Judaism, right? Talmudism. They don't even follow the scriptures. They follow the Talmud.
How do you understand the term Gentile?
Depends. It's the context of the word.
Right, so
Most of the time in the Old Testament, it's referring to a nation, right? Nation or heathen. Heathen means the same thing. Nation, heathen, anybody that's not. But in the New Testament, because they took out the Apocrypha, which explains. They took out these books called the Apocrypha.
the book of Maccabees.
Yeah, they took those books out, which explains how the Israelites became Hellenized, which the word Gentile a lot of times in the New Testament is Hellen, right? And it's referred to Hellenized Jews, not necessarily the nation. The Northern Kingdom split. We didn't fool with them anymore. They were Gentiles. The Samaritans, they was Gentiles, and the Greek and even the Jews that lived in Judea during the period of Hellenization that became Hellenized, they were Israelites, but they were just Hellenized, like Timothy, right? They say Timothy's father was a Greek, but if you look up the word Greek, it's Hellen. He was just a Hellenized Jew, right? He was an Israelite that was Hellenized and didn't follow the customs of Israel. He followed the custom of the heathen. So you got to be careful and you got to use the proper context when you read it. Give me John 7.
So in the next page AD, there also be letters from Paul.
Okay.
Here's a good look at that because the gospel is to the Jew first and then to the Gentile. And you can see that throughout the
It says Greek. It actually says Greek, and that word again is Hellen, which was a Hellenized Jew. That's why I say there's no difference between them. Because the Northern Kingdom and Southern, it was all brothers. For example, if you go to Romans chapter 9, I'm at 9 right now.